And Pheu Thai Party's Prime Minister hopeful Anutin Chanvirakul arrived at the voting station in his hometown Buriram province, donning a marijuana shirt. The health minister is best known for his work to legalize the use of marijuana, earning him the nickname Cannabis Champion. Well, voters had two ballots to cast today. One to pick their candidate to fill 400 of the 500 seats up for grabs in the House of Representatives. The other ballot will be to select their favoured party to fill the remaining 100 seats. Early unofficial results from Thai media outlets show that the move forward and Pheu Thai parties making big gains. Remember, though, it is still too early in the night and only about 280,000 votes have been counted so far. Well, let's check in now with our reporters on the ground covering the election in Bangkok. May Wong, she is standing by outside the Pheu Thai Party headquarters. But first, let's go to Saksit Sayasambat, who is at the headquarters of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's United Thai Nation Party. Saksit, give us some early reactions that you've seen and heard from the UTN so far.
Whatever the happy mood and optimistic mood at the United Thai Nation Party was earlier that day, that is now gone. There's a quiet stoicism at the United Thai Nation Party right now. Earlier this afternoon, party executives came here and the first reaction was basically to dismiss all the polls that have came out saying, right out, flat out, don't believe the polls. They don't believe anything you hear right now. Now, whether or not this is denial or a knowing, some knowledge that maybe things will flip, we don't know yet. Earlier than later this evening, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha actually came here to the party. He has not said much to the press, at least we haven't heard anything pointing to one way or the other. So as I said, a very stoic United Thai Nation Party, a very stoic Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. But it also goes to show here that it has always been a tall order. It has been an uphill battle for the incumbent Prime Minister, for any parties that have been part of the ruling coalition. At current counting of all the parties right now, current projections of the polls show that the opposition parties are leading far ahead. They are neck and neck there, but then way behind there, the United Thai Nation Party and the Palang Pracharat, the party of Prayut Chan-o-cha, where he was before, they are neck and neck, but by quite a distance there. So this is where we are going into the election evening, and this is probably the trend where this is going here. We may hear from Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha later this evening whether or not this will be a concession or an acknowledgement of the current status quo that may or may not change. We don't know yet.
You talked about a somber, subdued mood, but again, very early in the vote count. What's likely to happen next through the night?
Well, we are going to wait for the counts to come in. The Thai media outlets, they have their own monitoring, their own counting going on, but also the Election Commission are going to have their live reporting trickling in at a much slower pace. Nevertheless, the Election Commission has said that they are going to have a preliminary unofficial result by 10 or 11 p.m., so definitely by midnight. That should give us a clearer picture of the political landscape right now. That should give us an idea which party will lead the next government. But at this point, at this trend, it looks like that Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has in power for 9 years since the military coup in 2014, who is seeking a re-election for at least 2 more years. That seems to be the end of the road is nigh. Whether or not they're going to admit that, that's a different message.
Saksit, we will be speaking throughout the night. Thank you so much for that, Saksit Sayasambat at the United Thai Nation Party headquarters over there. Now, we want to bring in my colleague May Wong. She joins us live outside the Pheu Thai Party headquarters in Bangkok. May, you heard Saksit over there. How's the atmosphere at the Pheu Thai headquarters, one of the opposition?
The atmosphere here is one of excitement, one of anxiety, and one of hope. Now, I'm standing here inside the Pheu Thai headquarters, and this is the media center where they have obviously erected huge screens to take a look at the statistics that are coming in from various Thai media. And downstairs on the ground floor, we have a whole bunch of supporters waiting for the results, as well as another big screen has also been erected downstairs to keep them abreast of what's happening in terms of the numbers that are coming in. Obviously, here earlier as well, we saw the executives of Pheu Thai coming in to have a look at the setup, and also we saw two Prime Minister nominee candidates of the party coming in to have a look. They are Petongtan Shinawat as well as Tawisin, who is the PM nominee for this party as well. And when I asked Tawisin earlier about whether or not he makes any observations in terms of the initial results, well, he told me it's still very early right now. The night is still young. They're not going to preamble anything because they're waiting for the ultimate results to come out, which could possibly take a couple of hours. But over the course of campaigning over the last 2 months, Pheu Thai has been urging the voters to give them a landslide win, to allow them to bring about change in this country. And so at this stage, with fewer than 1,000 polling stations being counted out of more than 95,000 polling stations, really the results will only come in much, much later, and we will all be keeping an eye on that.
They must, though, be hoping the upward trajectory continues, but any party of any worth should have a plan B. So should Pheu Thai party not win the majority, scenario-wise, which party makes sense for them to be forming a coalition with?
In this election, it is very clear there is the pro-democracy camp, which Pheu Thai is sitting on, and that also includes the Move Forward party, which is very progressive, very liberal, and also very forward-looking with very bold measures. On the other side, you have the more conservative parties, and that comes from the military-backed parties that is led by, for example, the ex-generals of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, as well as the Deputy Prime Minister of Prawit Wongsuwan. So very clear here in terms of possibly where that coalition could come from if Pheu Thai was to have a whole chunk of votes going towards them, but they still can't make the majority. The chances are they will likely team up with Move Forward parties, simply because also in the last 4 years of Prime Minister Prayut's administration, these two parties have been the leading opposition voices in Parliament, and they have actually pushed for 4 censure debates against the Prime Minister as well as the military-backed ministers. And so this only goes to show you that there is a kind of alignment in terms of certain ideas and ideologies. Pheu Thai party has also said that whoever they will work with eventually, all the major ministries. 2, that Pheu Thai will be able to implement all the policies that they promised the people. And 3, the Prime Minister has to come from Pheu Thai if they were to win big. So these are the 3 conditions that they have laid out. And obviously, politics being politics, everything else has still got to be worked out once the numbers are firmed up.
You are right indeed, May. We do want to thank you for that perspective in these early hours. May Wong will be keeping in touch with her through the night. She's reporting live there from Bangkok. Now, still to come, Turkey's elections today said to be the most important in terms of shaping the country's future in the past 100 years. We'll have an update. Vietnam